What is going on, football fans? It's your boy DT back in the film room, ready to break down another quarterback. Today we have Garrett Nussmeier of LSU, week 1 versus Clemson. How this video is going to work is anybody who is a subscriber to the channel or a free viewer of the channel is going to get a condensed version, and the entirety of this video will be posted in the members only section. So you will have to become a member of the A1 since day one community. $5 a month will get you in the door at that membership level. Tons of exclusive content will be put on that feed. There are already 2 other videos, John Mateer film breakdown, quarterback Oklahoma, and a Tanner Engstrand peek into some of the offensive wrinkles that he can carry over from Detroit are already on that playlist at the A1 since day one membership tier. So consider subscribing to get the full video. Only costs you $5. I greatly appreciate it. But we do have Garrett Nussmeier against Clemson week 1. Garrett Nussmeier is the senior quarterback for the LSU Tigers. He is 6'2", 200 pounds, and just based on this film alone, this is my first full film watch of Garrett. It looks like he might be a little bit heavier than 220 in a good way, right? I think he's a larger bodied quarterback. I think he's carrying a little bit more than 200 pounds. I had mentioned he was a senior. He was a 4-star recruit from Flower Mound, Texas. And one thing I did want to point out, he wears number 18, which is a symbolic number for LSU. It is a number that is a distinction given to players who embody leadership, selflessness, and championship character. So for Garrett Nussmeier to be looked at by his coaches in that way is certainly good for him. And he is the first quarterback to wear it since 2003 for the LSU Tigers. So definitely a big emphasis there. I don't want to harp too much on it, but it is noteworthy because quarterbacks are looked at as the head of the snake, the leader of the offense. So he is given 18 because he embodies all of those qualities a leader must have. So with that, we'll get right into it. I have a couple plays. Like I said, I'll show at the free tier, and then the entire 9 or 10 play clip will be for the A1 since day one community. The first one we have here is a slant route to the slot right against man-to-man. They're going to motion the tight end from the boundary left. They're going to motion him in tight, get a little man indicator. Number 7 is going to flow with him inside. Looks like it's man coverage. And the slot receiver on the right side of the field wins inside. Great slant. What I love about this is the decision-making by Garrett Nussmeier. You get to the back of your drop. You understand what your coverage is pre-snap based on the formation and the motion, giving you a potential man zone indicator, and you can throw it to your guy winning with good leverage. So we'll play it through. Tight end motions down. Play action, quick 2-step drop out to the running or to the wide receiver in the slot right. Could be a potential RPO. Not sure if it's a play action or RPO. We'll see from the back angle here. Motions the tight end in. Looks like a play action. Slant. Put the ball right on his receiver. Easy pitch and catch for Nussmeier to start the game. Second play, we have a dig route against cover 3. So we're looking up to the top of the screen. What looks like dagger. Finds the soft spot in the zone with the dig route. Puts it right on his man. Easy completion for a first down. We'll play it through and then go back. Pump fakes right. Finds the soft spot in the zone to the left. So we'll go all the way back. You get the fast motion this way to the bottom of the screen. And what we kind of have is what looks like dagger to me. You're going to see the number 2 receiver from the slot left. He's going to get vertical. And you're going to see the number 1 receiver to the top of the screen come in on the dig route in behind. They show cover 3 on defense, or at least what looks like cover 3. So you have both your cornerbacks with their butt to the sidelines. You see the safety closest to us roaming down. You see this safety taking over as the middle field safety. He's dropping back into a third. He's dropping back into a third. So it looks like cover 3. And the route concept, again, is the vertical from the number 2 and the dig behind it from the number 1. And what the responsibility of this vertical route is to hold this middle field safety and carry him with him to open up the soft spot in the zone. It works to perfection for LSU's offense. Boom, he gets his feet in the ground. He does have what looks like a rusher coming to his right, steps up in the pocket, releases as soon as the wide receiver's out of his break. So not an anticipatory throw, but as soon as he gets out of his break. So good timing. Wide receiver makes the catch here. Look at all the cushion he has to work with. Turns upfield, gets an extra couple. Easy first down, great throw from Garrett Nussmeier, attacking the cover 3 zone coverage by Clemson. One more time. Beautiful pass. I love the footwork, the mechanics from Nussmeier. We'll show it one more time from this angle. I love that he fakes the pass to the right, and then you have 3 linebackers all kind of flowing to the right because of that. Keep playing it through. Sets his feet. Realizes he might have pressure coming to his right. But you also will see the wide receiver coming into vision here. Nussmeier has a free lane to make a great pass. Easy pitch and catch again. So I love Nussmeier making it look easy out there early on against a very, very good Clemson defense. The third clip I have is a check down from Nussmeier. He's going to scramble to his left, and he's going to miss the running back in the flat. We're not going to draw much of this one up. Shifts the tight end over to a 3-by-1. Defense is in a 2-high shell. He's going to get pressure off his right side free, scrambles out, kind of short hops it to the running back as the check down. I don't love this from Nussmeier. It almost looked like he tried to lollipop that pass in there. So I want to see him at least, have confidence and throw it with zip if he's going to scramble to his left. Not saying he's bad when scrambling to his left, but here was the first example of it. He gets out and he just kind of throws it right at the feet of the running back there. So I don't love that from Nussmeier, but it's a very minor blemish considering the pressure here. He's going to get good pressure. The left guard and left tackle, number 19 there, he just splits the double team like nothing. You also get the free rusher, number 47 from the second level, coming off the right tackle. Nussmeier has to get out. If anything, just throw it a little harder at your running back instead of lollipopping it in there a little bit. But that is very nitpicky, and I couldn't only show positives. I want to try to do a little bit of a balance. I know I didn't show a ton of Mateer flaws, but he was also playing Illinois State, right? Garrett Nussmeier is playing Clemson, a very top program. So 2 positive plays and 1 negative play so far for Nussmeier. If you are not already upgraded to the A1 since day 1 tier, this is where we leave you. For those who are already subscribed at the $5 level, we will continue the film review. So I appreciate everybody at the free tier. I wanted to give you guys a little taste of this, so you got about 10 minutes of it. The rest of this is probably going to be over 30 minutes on the A1 since day 1 members only tier. So consider becoming a member of the community. It certainly helps me out a lot. In the meantime, like this video, subscribe if you are new. My name is DTereman, and I will catch you guys next time. All right. The next play, and thank you again, one more time, to the A1 since day 1 community. Now that it's just us. I appreciate you all subscribing at the $5 level. I can't express that enough. You guys are what make this channel grow. And the more exclusive content is all based on how many members I have each month. So it's $5. I know it's kind of a lot to ask. I didn't want to set it that high, but YouTube doesn't allow me to change the price of the tiers once we start making them. So I wanted to start off at $5, and we could have lower tiers, but you're not going to get as much information with those tiers. So I tried to find the middle ground. With that, on to play number 4 of Garrett Nussmeier. Here he's showing off his mobility a little bit. He's going to zone keeper. So they're in a 2x2 set. They got 7 men, walked up to the line of scrimmage for Clemson. He pulls it and keeps it. Nice, easy, explosive run for Garrett Nussmeier. He's not, equipped with a ton of wheels, but he does have enough mobility to get out of the pocket, be a threat with his legs when he needs to be. Great, by the running back too, getting out in space there. I know he doesn't pick up a block, but I love the design of this. Everybody's pinching down. You have a really loaded front by the defense. I think it was 7 men. Yeah, 7 men walked up at the line of scrimmage across the board. Nobody's keying in on Garrett Nussmeier. He's watching number 13 here. Number 13 is the defender that he's watching. If 13 crashes down toward the running back, Nussmeier is going to scramble out and keep it. But if this defender sits out here and hangs out, it's an easy decision to go to the inside zone with the running back. So you're watching number 13 there, end man on the line of scrimmage. Outside of that, right tackle number 75. As you can see, he's crashed down. He's not focused anything on containing the quarterback edge. Nussmeier is able to pull it and keep it. Gets about 12 to 15 yards. Easy there. So shows off his mobility. I don't think he's, a super athlete by any means, but I think he does show you enough with his legs that he can be somewhat of a threat at the next level. All right, here we go. Here's one of 2 deep bombs from Garrett Nussmeier, both of which were ruled incomplete, one after a review. This one was a force out to the tight end. Beautiful ball placement by Garrett Nussmeier. It was just the last 2% of this play where the tight end was forced out of bounds that unfortunately makes it an incomplete pass instead of a beautiful potential touchdown or pass to inside the 5-yard line. So what we have is a little hitch by the number 1 down here, and then a fade route from the tight end out of the slot right. 2x2 set, single high. This looks like it's man coverage based on the single high alignment. Man across the board, pressed up. That's the look they get. Nussmeier identifies it, and you can see how much space this safety is giving to the tight end. Look at all this area for Nussmeier to work with. It's going to be so difficult for this safety to range over here. So it's really putting the onus on this defender down here to go lockstep with the tight end on the outside fade. He does a very good job of flipping his hips with the tight end. Nussmeier throws it. Tight end's going up for it. You can see him jumping over the guy. Unfortunately, it's just a force out at about the 2-yard line. Would have been a spectacular play. The tight end holds on to it. He just comes down out of bounds. Thought at first it looked like he might have got his right foot down. Unfortunately, he didn't. But I love this from Nussmeier on all angles. Again, he's one of those quarterbacks, just gets to the back of his drop, ready, 1, 2, 3, sees that he's got man coverage and the safety staying put, kind of cheating towards the top of the screen, if anything, towards those 2 receiver side. Tight end stumbles a little bit out of the stem, and he's still able to get up and make a play, but forced out of bounds. We'll see the footwork and everything from Nussmeier on the back end. 1, 2, 3. Steps. Love this. All his cleats in the ground. Separates to throw. Just an unfortunate incomplete pass, but one of the better passes of Nussmeier's film. Just unfortunate it wasn't a complete pass, but it shows the ball placement on deep passes from Nussmeier fully on display. Here we have a play where Nussmeier is rolling to his right. So this play is interesting. I'll draw it up before we get into it. You're kind of running, I guess there's similar concepts. So you're going to have a zig route here, or a return route rather, because he's going inside to out. And then you're going to have an out route here from the number 2. And then over here, you're going to have a zig route where he starts inside and works out. And then another dig, or I guess in-breaking route accompanying it. So it looks like a mirrored concept. Works almost to perfection. Nussmeier is going to end up scrambling out, and he's going to hit this guy over here coming across the screen. We'll play it through. 1, 2, 3. He's looking to the right, scrambles out, comes back to the left, finds the guy wide open. So he's immediately looking to the right, down to the bottom of the screen, right? The safety up top, if you notice, before Garrett starts to bail out, the safety's cheating that way towards the bottom of the screen. You see him there at the goal line, basically. Now he's closer to the hash. As he vacates that single high responsibility, this receiver comes running across. This defender over top can't keep stride with him. Nussmeier does a great job. He's got two defenders closing in front of him, one behind him that he really can't see, but he probably felt coming. Throws off a really wonky platform, and we'll see it from the back angle, but he does a great job throwing off a wonky platform to the wide open receiver across the middle. Gets them inside the 10-yard line. We'll see it again from the back. He's immediately looking to the right side of the screen, and you can see the safety here is keying in on that. He's watching him the whole way, and as we play it through, the safety starts cheating towards those right hashes. See, he's already moving towards those hashes. Garrett's got to break out of the pocket. You see the receiver, coming across in division. Nussmeier does a great job identifying. Throws off a very wonky platform, 1 foot in the ground. Wide open to the wide receiver. Sets up a 1st and goal for the Tigers. The 7th play we have is the second go ball. This one was reviewed incomplete. Looked like a catch at first. Unfortunately, they reviewed it. Booth review. I don't think it was a team review. I thought it was a catch and a touchdown at first. They ruled it a catch down at the 1. They reviewed it and said the wide receiver did not maintain possession through the catch and that it was an incomplete pass. So we just get an outside release go ball by the number 1 receiver down to the bottom of the screen. Basic, simple concept here. This time we get what look like about 7 potential blitzers, or 7, lurkers in the box area. You have your 4 rushers here, 2, 3, 4. Both these linebackers are pressed up. This safety, or this hook defender, I don't know if that's a linebacker or safety, he's just kind of hanging out, reading to see what the tight end does in the flat. Looks like man across the board. Man coverage here as this wide receiver down the bottom gets outside. Man here, and it looks like this safety is just waiting to man up on this tight end. Then you have your single high cover 1 defender here. We'll continue to play it. Nussmeier gets to the back of his drop. Beautiful throw. Honestly, a great catch. Unfortunately, they reviewed it. It was not a catch. We'll see from the back angle. Nussmeier has what essentially becomes a free rusher through the B gap. I'm not sure if number 8 was supposed to hang back and block right here. Instead, he works out towards number 15 at the right tackle to help. This 47 could also be a green dog. A green dog is a linebacker who only blitzes when their responsibility stays home to pass protect. So if he sees number 8 scanning out in pass protection, his new assignment is to blitz the quarterback because he doesn't need to run out and man with the running back. So it essentially boils down to a free rusher in the B gap. He is picked up late, but Nussmeier sees the color rushing him and needs to get the ball out. He does a great job. Again, it's 40 yards placed in a bucket. You couldn't have handed it to number 6 a little better. And as you see, the ref right here, he's signaling the ball's down at about the half-yard line. Unfortunately, they reviewed it. Nothing they could do. LSU had to go back, and they ended up punting on this drive. So it was a huge missed opportunity for points, but it wasn't because Nussmeier did anything wrong. It was just a booth review. So great pass, great 2 passes really from Nussmeier working down the field. The 8th clip is one where he starts getting a little bit of pressure in his face in the pocket. It's not a clean pocket. They're going to shift to a 3-by-1. And what we're looking at is the slant route. I believe it's this guy down here at the bottom. He's going to work up, and he's going to do an in-breaker. I don't know if it's a slant or if it's an in-breaking route. I know it's an in-breaker of some kind, whether it's a slant or a post. It could be even a true in route. It's kind of hard to tell. He gets kind of caught up. So he gets the inside leverage on his defender who's in man coverage. Yeah, it looks like a post the way he breaks out of it at the top of his route. Nonetheless, I put this on here even though it's an incomplete. It's a penalty. 1, because I love the safety blitzing down on Nussmeier. You see the safety get down close to the box, and you have your single high cover 1 defender, and then it looks like man across the board, man-to-man, always here. And then this linebacker looks like he could be on the running back, again, doing that green dog where if the running back stays in to pass protect, this guy's going to blitz. And if the running back runs out, this guy is going to follow. So that's what it looks like, at least to me. Yeah, you see the running back, he starts pass protecting, and the linebacker is already cheating up to blitz. You have down here the wide receiver that Garrett is looking at is winning inside, which is where he's supposed to win. Look how far cheated over the single high safety is. It allows for the wide receiver to get up and stem in like this. Obviously, he gets held at the top of his route, and they flag it. He does catch the ball with the penalty. Excuse me, it's an incomplete with the penalty. But I love everything from Nussmeier here. He identifies one-on-one coverage. He identifies a blitz, number 18, I believe that is right here. He's, working his way down toward the line of scrimmage. Yeah, number 18. Motions that guy over, so you have to assume, at least pre-snap, it's man-to-man from the defense. 18 continues to pinch down, and now you're blitzing. You have at least 6 guys blitzing in this picture. Garrett gets to the back of his drop. He's getting pressure off his right. Steps up, finds a small hole in a muddy pocket, and number 0 is not even out of his break yet. This is beautiful. Anticipatory throws from Garrett Nussmeier. This is exactly what we want to see. He ends up putting the ball in this vicinity here. He's throwing the wide receiver open. This is beautiful to see. This is why Garrett Nussmeier is looked at as one of the top quarterback prospects in this draft. The anticipatory throws from a muddy pocket. It's collapsing in on his face. Yes, the pass was slightly high of the wide receiver. If you want to nitpick anything about the throw, it does go a little high of the wide receiver, but he got 2 hands on it right here. So, again, incompletion with a penalty as the result of the play. But Garrett does nothing wrong. I think everything he did there on that play was beautiful, and the pass was damn near perfect considering the circumstances. So I love that, even if the result was an incompletion and a penalty. The final one, very similar to that last one, a muddied pocket. He's going to stand in, hang tough, make a throw, take a big shot, what looked like very late on the play as well. But he's able to hit the basic route. So we have a 3x1 with a tight end attached to the top of the screen, attached to the line of scrimmage. They're going to motion this guy inside and out. Basically, you're going to get 3 verticals with an underneath route. So this guy motioned, and then he's going to run something like that, like an over. He's going to have more of a vertical route, but he's still going to creep from right to left, and then you're going to have a go ball here, and then your tight end is running underneath all of that on the shallow. So it's not a basic route. I was wrong in my descriptor. It is more of just an over route in a vertical concept from the number 3 receiver here to the bottom of the screen. There's the motion. Again, they're sending what looks like 5 rushers with potentially a green dog at that linebacker. Garrett does a great job of getting to the back of his drop once again. Very good, very clean footwork, very clean mechanics inside the pocket. We'll see it from this angle. Motions the number 3. 1, 2, 3. Gets to the back of his drop. He's already looking to separate. Technically, the wide receiver is out of his break, but he's not looking for the pass. So I'll consider this another anticipatory throw. And again, he's throwing his receiver open. He throws right at this referee's head. The running back or the wide receiver's probably about 6 or 7 yards away from his landmark. And Garrett Nussmeier throws it right at the referee. Referee has to show off his flexibility, getting out of the way of the pass. Right on the wide receiver. Again, easy pitch and catch. Garrett Nussmeier makes some of the most complex things look pretty, easy from a quarterbacking perspective, at least in my opinion. This is certainly somebody I am intrigued to watch this year as we play it back in full. He's certainly somebody I'm going to keep my eye on. I don't know if the Jets will be in range for Nussmeier. I think a lot of things would have to go wrong for the Jets to be picking that high in the draft, because I consider Nussmeier, right now to be like a top 7 to top 5 pick pretty easily. So we'll see how the rest of the class shakes out. Obviously, quarterbacks are prioritized, and it depends on who's picking in those spots. But I think the Jets would have to trade up for a Garrett Nussmeier as we're projecting it right now. I still think he does a lot of great things well. He does a lot of the simple things well. He makes a lot of the difficult things look easy. So from a quarterbacking perspective, I'm a huge fan of Garrett Nussmeier. That's going to do it for this film breakdown. I appreciate everybody tuning in. All of my A1 since day one. You guys are the best. I greatly appreciate it. Again, I'll mention it one more time. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I hope to see more people at the A1 since day one level. $5 tier. You already see what you're getting. At least 3 exclusive pieces of content within the last week. I can't promise that it's going to maintain at this rate, but you are going to get a lot of exclusive content, mostly film-related content at the $5 tier. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up. Drop in the comments if you have another quarterback or another player you want me to watch, and I'll try to get the all 22 and review the players as quickly as possible. I am DT signing off. Thank you so much. And until next time, A1 since day one, best community out there. Thanks, guys.